One of the most destructive mindset habits I've carried with me for decades, and it's quite a common source of avoidable stress, is the mindset of catastrophizing. Now, what is catastrophizing? It's when I've still got a headache. Oh my God, I've got a brain tumor. Dear Anise, thanks for your interest in the role, but we went with someone else. Good luck with your job search. I'll never get a job. Ever. Oh my God, I'll become homeless and live on the street. I'll have to sell my body to buy a meal. So catastrophizing is a mindset habit of thinking about the most horrendous things that have a low probability of happening. It's wasted negative energy that's eroding your well-being, flooding your body with harmful stress chemicals. But mostly, catastrophizing slowly ruins your life. So here are 5 steps that help me stop this destructive mindset habit, and it helped me win back some peace of mind. So I hope it helps you too. Watch till the end. You will learn a bonus tip helping you reduce the frequency of catastrophizing volcanic eruptions. Let's get started. Step 1. Tell the squatter in your head to sit down. The catastrophe brewing in your mind comes from the squatter in your head. It's saying things like,
they'll get offended with something you say, because you often speak before you think, and before you know it, you're doing life in prison.
So stop the squatter in your mind as soon as you see thoughts pop up.
They'll get offended with something you...
Nope, we're not going down that path again. This will interrupt the squatter, you've taken back control, and you'll start feeling more balanced. Now, if you miss these early thoughts, which will happen, those initial thoughts will turn into a massive swarm of thoughts, and then you start feeling stress. In which case, don't try to catch every single thought. Just go on to step 2. Step 2, focus on your breathing. Just focus on your in-breaths and out-breaths. Nothing else. This will calm down your body, and it helps you return to the present moment instead of being lost in the future nightmares that don't exist. Step 3, look for facts and evidence. To help you calm down, look for evidence, facts and stats to prove that the squatter in your head is wrong. Think back to your past. How many times have these catastrophic events that your squatter is talking about actually happened? Never, or very few. I mean, that's usually the case for me. So remind yourself of facts and evidence from your past to calm yourself down. Now, if this is a case where something like this has never happened before and it's completely new, started your own business, so a lot of that will be new to you. So you don't have a time in your past where you could kind of match it. So what you could do is think about other times where you have catastrophized and they never actually happen. So remind yourself of those, how your ego mind, the squatter in your head, tricks you and makes you think of these things when they don't actually happen. Step 4, put it in your top drawer. Now this is for times when the squatter catches me at a vulnerable time.
So, about your book. First chapter, it's a little bit weak. So I'm thinking you should just forget the whole thing. Just scrap it and just don't bother. I'm thinking that's the best way forward. Because, it's just, what's the point? It's going to take...
So this step works in those scenarios. I tell myself...
So, about your book. First chapter, let's put that in the top drawer and talk about it later, shall we? All right then. Then we can give it the proper attention it deserves. Right you are. All right. Okay.
So doing that simple thing helps me satisfy and silence the squatter in my head. And then I experience instant calm. And what you'll find is the issue that your squatter is telling you to get worked up about will either be tiny or non-existent when you come round to sitting and thinking about it. Or if there actually is a real challenge, you'll discover that it's much easier to find a solution when you open that top drawer in a more energized state. Step 5. Crowd them out. Now, when you're just starting out learning this, often you can't just put those thoughts away and stop them. You have to fill in the space that's left. Imagine you walked into a lift and you thought you were on mute and you can't waft the fart out. You have to crowd it out with another smell. The same applies to your catastrophizing thought. Crowd out the negative thoughts with constructive, useful thoughts. Watch this video next. There are loads of examples of how to do this on your way home from work when you've had a stressful day. Or do something that takes you to your happy space. Now here's a bonus tip to stop the frequency of those volcanic eruptions. Stop feeding the monster. Media, marketers, the internet, and other people massively influence how we think, whether we believe it or not. So be careful what media and information diet you consume on a daily and weekly basis, because you might be consuming something that's harmful for you. It's just like when you're improving your physical health. You track what you eat. You adjust, you improve. Do the same with an information diet. Ask yourself, what sources in my life feed, strengthens, and activates my catastrophizing thoughts? Is there a pessimistic Peter or a constant complainer person in your life that drains you and makes you worry about unnecessary things? Or are there news and social media platforms that feeds you too much negativity? So after identifying harmful sources of information, ask yourself, how can I spend less or no time with this person or these sources? Think of 2 or 3 ways you can do this. Now, if it's someone you love, avoid the conversations that trigger you.
My neighbour the other day, oh my goodness, you should have seen the way they were talking to their husband. I was absolutely... So Whiskey's hogging the fan again. How's your cat? Oh, Charlie's fine. Charlie, the little one, yeah, he's much, much better. Thank you.
And steer the conversation towards uplifting topics. Do that until you build up the mental strength where no one can say anything that can bother you. Then you allow the subjects to run free and not worry about it. Spend the time you have now freed up with optimistic people, optimistic sources. In the coming days, take a complete audit of your life so you can slowly but surely create a healthy, peaceful environment for you and your loved ones. The problem is your ego mind has a way of sneaking through the back door to feed you destructive thought. The ego mind's lifelong mission is to destroy you. And oftentimes when thoughts are going 100 miles an hour, it's impossible to stop them. So watch this video next to help you find different ways to loosen the ego's grip on your mind, to stop those negative thoughts after they start. And now share in the comments what harmful sources of negativity will you commit to eliminating from your life today. Thanks for watching. I'm Annie Skizzlebash. I will see you in another video. Bye.